I am your host, Keith Andrew, along here with Tiffany Rothman, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is my way of showing people that even with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to overcome obstacles that are thrown in my way. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any type of disability or learning disability. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still amount to something. And starting off, don't mind me if I get up and walk around. I just have to close the shade behind me. But what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, the thing is, I am learning disabled. Where I came from and when I was young, they call it stupid instead of anything else. But, I said, okay, so I'm stupid when it comes to certain things, and it's okay. But that doesn't mean I stop working and try to accomplish. Because right now I'm finishing up my doctorate thesis.
Right.
And I have 2 master degrees already. And I do what I want. I mean, I belong to a small theater and in the past, and I'm doing theater now, and I'm trying to break through as an actress. So the difficulties is difficulties, but yes, what are you going to do about it?
But that's amazing. Even if you said you had a learning disability, hey, you're more educated than I am, and you have 2 masters. I can say that.
Well, I put it this way. Sometimes when people do not have any learning disabilities, they take it for granted. Life is too easy, so they might not need to go for higher education because they're able to go out and work in functions. See, I wasn't. I couldn't get a good jobs, something like that. I said, maybe it's better if I go for higher education.
No.
Easier because to tell you the truth, a lot of artists, a lot of people who want to dance and act like I am, they can bartend, they can wait on table, and they're healthy enough, and they're able to survive. I cannot. I mean, I wouldn't be able to take down, your order and hear and remember everything.
Right.
They're smart. The waitress and the bartenders out there, they're phenomenal. They're brilliant people.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. I couldn't.
I'm the same way. It's like I learn more hands-on, but if you tell me read a book and memorize it, I can't do that.
No, I have to take notes.
Right.
That's what I do with my thesis now. I read it, I take note on the side, so things are so much longer for me.
By the way, I like your accent.
Oh, thank you. I'm from Vietnam. I moved here almost 40 years ago.
Well, going back to that, how hard it was to making the transition and being an actress, like you were saying, does the accent get in the way, or is that a plus?
It depends. It all depends, because right now that, the new show, it's called Fresh Off the Boat.
Right.
The leading lady, the beautiful leading lady, Miss Wu, she has a Forks accent. So sometimes, most of the time it's probably a damage, but, sometimes it can be a plus. Because I was in this movie called, I don't even remember the name, but this is a while ago, and they said they want someone with an accent, and I supposed to even make my accent thicker, like I'm fresh off the boat. And I did, and I thought the movie was never edited. And once a friend of mine on Facebook said, Tiff, I just edited this movie, and I saw you. About 3 years later, I said, oh my goodness, what a shock.
Well, while on the subject, what's your opinion on Fresh Off the Boat? Do you think it's racist? Do you think it's funny or stereotypical?
No, it is what it is. You can't say anything stereotypical or typical because, like the funeral, my big gay Italian funeral and my big gay Italian wedding, and it's supposed to be stereotype Italian American, but I don't think it's stereotype at all. I think everybody's like that. When you put into that situation, it's just like some people they hide it, and some people they couldn't care less. They reveal it. So to me, it's like everybody, it's just the same. It's not because what you are, that's why you behave that way. No, baby, what you are, you reveal it because you couldn't care less. Yes, I believe in that.
Now, do you think it's kind of like a big slap in the face for, well, going back to on the two subjects, for fresh off the boat, do you think that's an insult to Asian people? And you're gonna be in My Big Gay Wedding,
Italian funeral.
Yes, do you think that's a big slap in the face to Italians?
No. I mean, I don't think the Italian from Italy behave that way, and I don't think that Italian American they all behave that way. I think just like everybody can behave that way under certain circumstance in the situation you put into.
I agree. Now, this next part of, and by the way, it's a normal conversation, so in a couple minutes I'm going to put you in the driver's seat, and you can take over and you can ask me anything you want. But when you were growing up, did you ever do any sports? Were you athletic?
No, I believe it or not, I have some infection problem on my feet, and people, I didn't realize it until people told me that. I didn't waste any time. I was living in Saigon at the time, and I have very bad infection. It happened every monthly, and then I have to take like antibiotic, and I couldn't go out and run or bicycle. I like biking as a child. You know, my friends, my colleague, and I, we bike a lot, and I couldn't do that when I have it. So what I did is I stay home, and I read independent literary literature. It's a Vietnamese literature at college level, and I read all of them starting in age 7 to 9. And by the time I left, I had the knowledge within me. So that's when people told me, "Oh, you didn't waste any time," but I didn't realize that. I said, "Well, I can't do this, so I stay home and read."
Well, if you're interested, I do like I was saying, I do a lot of fan-made promos. Could you, do you know any accent? Do you do any accents?
No, I couldn't. I wish I could. No accent. No, this is it. This is it.
Now, the next question is, what was your favorite book and what influenced you to become an actress?
Oh, probably My Life by Isadora Duncan, because I am also a dancer. I do Duncan dance and belly dance, and I belong to Isadora Duncan International Institute group. And when I think I read My Life, and I always wanted to be an actress when I came over here, and I didn't know any English, because one of my late aunts, she was a famous singer, and for some reason when I came over here, I said I want to be an actress, but my language, I'm not comfortable with the English language.
Right.
And then when I finished 2 of my master and I got married, I settled down and I went back to dancing, because I did dance in high schools and I couldn't speak or express myself in a verbal way. I tried to take dance class so I can express myself through movements. So I read the book My Life by Isadora Duncan, and it was so sensational. And I also read the book The Art of the Dance. And I think that Isadora Duncan is the queen, the mother of physical theater. And after I reading and become more comfortable with the language, and my daughter was, in first grade or something, I said, maybe I should try taking an acting class. And I did. I took 1 class, and then I keep on taking it the following year, and then I start to audition while taking classes. And I'm still taking classes and audition.
Now, for you mentioned you're going to be in a show Sunday. Was there any parts of any other shows that you were a part of? Were you any extras in movies?
I did a little extra here and there for local film, and I did like small independent film. But before I was actively involved in my doctoral thesis, I did a lot of short plays at the producer clubs through Love Creek Productions.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yes, it was fun.
Now, the last question I was going to ask you, then I'll pass it over to you. Like I said, it's a normal conversation. Is how hard was it getting your masters? You got 2 of them, so.
What about it? Again, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, how hard was it getting your 2 masters?
It was hard, yes, it was very hard. And each of them were like 61 and 60 credits, and I finished them, I think, in 5 years total, and working at the same times, and it was difficult. I didn't have a life. I didn't get to go out and play and have fun or whatsoever. I just go to work and I stay home and do my work.
And that's one more question is, now when you made the transition of, I don't know if I asked this, and I apologize if I repeat myself.
That's okay.
How hard was it making the transition from America and from the other country you came from?
I'm from Vietnam.
Oh, yeah, Vietnam, no disrespect.
Yeah. I was young then, but yes, it was very, very difficult because not only the language but the lifestyle. Because my father was with the last government. He was normally he was a law professor, but he got involved in politics, and he was the big man assistant and minister of defense. So he got stuck back. He went to concentration camp, and I was here. When we came here, my mother was pregnant. I was here with relatives, and it's just the situation, the social, economic, and the social situation was tremendously turned upside down because I didn't know what's going on. I was taken out my environment. I didn't have my neighbors, my friends, my relatives, my close knit relatives with me, and it was just very, very difficult.
Yeah, I remember the episode. Are you a fan of Hawaii Five-0?
Hawaii Five-0?
Yes.
Yes.
They did an episode about Paul Harbert and about the family who was taken from their house, and that was like one of the best episodes they ever did. But I can imagine it's really hard to imagine. I know it was a different time too, and it was a lot of ignorant people back then.
Yes.
But what was your opinion about it?
It was difficult, but that doesn't mean you cannot overcome it. You don't let difficulties get to you. You're supposed to work through it and accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. That's not an excuse. I mean, I wish I would be more accomplished. Like if I didn't have my learning disability, sometimes I would feel that life would be easier for me. And if I was healthier, it would be easier for me. But I'm taking care of my health too. I do a lot of alternative.
Yeah, well, after... I didn't mean to interrupt, I apologize. Now I'm going to pass the show over to you. And when it's back my turn, I do have a question for you. But do you have any subjects you want to ask me? I'm going to put you in the driver's seat now. Do you have any subjects you want to talk about? Anything you want to ask me?
You like what you're doing?
I've been doing this for about a year and a half, and my fault was I wish I was doing it a lot sooner. I was doing other things, and I wasn't being realistic, but should have been doing this a lot sooner. But I have a passion for what I'm doing, and I really hope it turns into something.
Yes, I hope so. So you would be a great talk show host. I would like to be a talk show host too.
Well, it's nothing stopping you. Why don't you create your own talk show?
Probably I have to finish my thesis first, and we'll see what's going on.
Well, if you're interested, I can help you with that, or if you like to be my co-host, I'm always looking for people.
Yes, that would be great. And we both are in New York. Where are you in New York?
You ever been to Woodbury Commons?
No, where's that at?
West Point.
West Point.
That...
Oh, wow. I have an old friend from high school. He went to West Point. That's nice. I'm in Park Slope, Brooklyn. I also have a non-profit organization called Worldwide Pioneer Foundation to support the arts, to heal the community through the promotion of the arts. And I have a dance studio upstairs in my room. I also have a stage in the backyard also. So if you ever want to visit New York, and we can do an outdoor talk shows if you like.
Oh, I would love that. Well, after the show, I do have a couple of ideas for you. But, I like things to be interactive. I don't mean to impose on you. Would you mind showing us? Or are you on your computer and it's stationary?
What do you mean selling it? What do you mean?
Are you stationary, you have to stay in one spot? Or
No, I like interactive too. I mean, I think that if we do a talk show, it should be in the backyard, a dance studio, outside, outdoor. We can walk and talk and see what we can discover.
That's true. But I mean, right now, are you on your computer or on your... Oh.
Yeah, I'm on my computer. Yes, I'm in my living room right now. And also, what's really funny? Somebody have stoop top in front of their stoop. I decorated my stoop. First, I have stained glass door, and then I have mosaic rose tie, and I put it in the back of the steps.
Yeah, it's just notes, and it's I say, if you're on your phone, you can get up, walk around, show us around. But
what? Yeah, I could be on my phone, and I could be carrying this around.
Well, that's completely up to you. I don't want you to.
We could do that. See, I have the phone here. I could put a Skype in here, and we can carry it around. That would be great too.
Well, it's up to you if you want to do that. But I was announcing the staircase behind you. It's really nice. I was announcing that's a brick wall behind you, right?
Yes. See the staircase? I have it painted black when we move in here.
Is it just like normal black or is it piano black?
Hmm?
Is it normal? Is it normal black or is it piano black?
I think it's more like a piano black.
Well, some people would say piano black, onyx black. It's the same thing.
Yes, it is the same thing.
It's also announcing the picture behind you. It's really nice. So what can you tell us about that?
Oh, this is very interesting. This woman, I never met her. Her name is Mary. She died a few years ago in a nursing home when she was like around 95. And she was a friend of my husband's friend, Cindy Roberts from Chaffee, from kindergarten. And Cindy and Peter Chaffee would used to take care of her every Sunday because she was living in a home, and when she moved into the home, she said that give some of her stuff to whoever. And Cindy gave me her picture, this portrait, because I thought it was so beautiful. I think she was an actress too. She probably did some theater over 50, 70 years ago or something like that. And she's American born, but her mother from Sicily, and her history is very, very fascinating. I even have one of her mother crochets blankets. Before her mother left for Sicily, she did what most Sicilian did in those days, that they crochet blankets. That could be used as a bed blanket or a tablecloth. And she crocheted she was from Sicily and moved to America and keep on doing it and get married here and have 2 daughters, and Mary was the youngest. And Mary had a very, very, very long life, and she has some very interesting photographs that I also have from Sicilian immigrants in the very old days.
Well, if you would like to show us, you're more than welcome to, but I don't want to impose on you.
I don't know where I put it. I have to find it. Maybe next time, because it's very interesting. So I thought this is really beautiful, and I have her blanket on my bed, and I also have a couple of the pieces she made. I decorated in the bathroom shelf and on, what do you call them, the bathroom stove, the box behind the toilets, and decorated really beautifully. So what about you? What do you do for your daytime jobs?
I used to work in retail. A long story about that, but I got sick out of it. Basically, I used my brother and my sister for my inspiration, saying, my sister writes poetry, she writes 2 books. My brother goes and he does his other things. And it's like, well, I have a learning disability. And I'm going to ask you this the same question. It's like, well, I have a learning disability. For a long time, I was using it as a crutch. Can't do this, can't do that. Can't go to college. And one day, and like I said, it's uncensored. One day I was like, fuck it. I'm going to show people that even with a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And I started this back in 2013. And I started my demo years, don't ask me why. It seemed like a good idea at the time. With my demo years, I did all phone conversations. And I interviewed people from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Dragon Ball Z to Spider-Man. And people say, oh, you have this great format. Why aren't you as big or wink, wink, bigger than you portray yourself to be? Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. If you'd like to help me, I would love that. It's like, oh no, if you can't do it yourself and it's not meant to be, it's like, okay, well, thanks for that inspiration, asshole. No, I didn't say, I didn't say asshole, but I was thinking it. I should have said it. So I did it over, and thanks to you, we're up to 207. And I'm just taking it one step at a time. But if you're interested, I would love to work with you. And I'm a good friend. You help me, I help you. And I'm doing the best I can of with having a learning disability and I do the editing, I do the promoting myself. I look for people on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and I'm doing everything. And I don't know, I'm just doing the best I can with a learning disability. Now I'm gonna pass that over to you. If people ask me, I don't mean to put you on the spot. If you're okay with it, what is your disability?
I have major attention deficits and processing disorders. See, like people, it's really difficult. Processing disorder can't really learn languages well.
Right.
It's a long time, and that was a problem. It's very difficult. Like people don't understand it.
And so,
but anyway, it doesn't matter really.
No, but because I put you on the spot, I'm gonna throw myself in the same situation too. I'm like you, but I learn at a slower pace. I give you a perfect example. If someone said, okay, here's a book, you're gonna read chapter blah 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 blah, and then you're gonna remember it for a test, it's gotta go.
Actually, reading, what you can do, you can not only highlight, but you can take notes, so that's how you can remember it.
Right.
It'll take a long time, but if you give me a lecture, with 100 people in the room, it's going to be very, very hard for me to take note and absorb.
Right. No, I'm the same way. I learn more hands-on, but if you tell me to read something, it's got to go up and over my head. And, I worked in this one store. I told them I had a learning disability. And they basically said, you're going to do blah, 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 blah. And, it's retail. I can't snap my fingers, but you have to, move fast. And I would mess up, and I would choke. And all I would hear is, why did we hire someone like you? We don't have time to work with someone like you. And, we don't know how to deal with people like you. And it's kind of like, well, if I was Asian, if I was black, I can easily turn that into a racist thing.
Right.
But I wasn't looking for a problem or anything. But, you deal with more ignorant people. And the reason I do one of my talk shows is doing this. It helps me with my social anxiety. It helps me interact with people. I was doing this back in high school. Because I would have been more upfront with people. I would have been more comfortable around people. But, I worked over at certain stores and I had an excuse to walk up. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. I worked at this one store. Can't mention the name. Actually, I can mention this one. They're out of business. KB Toys went out of business.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Actually, that's a fun store. I bought something from there before. In Manhattan.
Oh, I've never been to the Manhattan one, but I grew up in... Well, funny story about that. You said you went there. I grew up in that store. Not right away, I didn't have a bed in the store.
Right.
But every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday, my parents would go to the mall, the Middletown Mall, and I would buy a WCW toy, I would buy a Power Ranger toy, a WWF toy, or what is called now, WWE. And I got the chance to work for them in 2006. I work with this outside organization. Basically, it helps people with learning disabilities get a job. And they got me the job there. And in a way, I'm happy. I'm upset they closed. Actually, they were bought out by Toys R Us, another place where I grew up in. And I'm still working, trying to get a job there. But I'm happy I got the chance to work in KB Toys. I got some closure. But then going back to the reason I'm bringing up KB Toys is, it gave me a reason to walk up to someone. Like if you were a customer, I would walk up and say, hey, my name is Keith, blah, blah, blah. Is there anything I can do for you? And, I was kind of sarcastic to a lot of British people. Yeah, I made, not like, okay, he's being an asshole. But I mean, it was my way of breaking the ice. It's like, oh, so you're from England. Are you a Beatles fan? Or do you like Led Zeppelin? And that was my way of starting the conversation. And I haven't worked in retail as of late, and I wanted to work on my social skills. I created my talk show, and now it's one-on-one. And I've been trying to, and I asked if you could have one of your friends with you. And I asked, to do like a double interview or a group interview, because I'm trying to get used to talking to more than one person. I'll give you another perfect example. Occasionally I play the WWF or the WWE games, and I do one-on-one matches. Okay, I get bored of it. Now I want to do like a triple threat or a four-way cuts. My mind's always processing, and I like it to be, moving. So I was kind of like, what would be interesting? Why not do a triple threat interview or do a tag team interview? Or, the other reason I'm bringing it up, and I promise I will stop ranting after this, is that I'm looking at the numbers, and I interviewed people, like famous people, and their numbers would go up, up, up. And there's other people where, and you're a beautiful woman, by the way, and I know your numbers will go up, and it depends on the person, where numbers may go up and may not go up. So it's like, well, if I change the format, I was saying, okay, let's do a double interview, let's do a group interview. I'm just trying to get more people interested. Do you think that's a good idea, or just do what I'm doing?
Well, it's hard to tell with people, but they're all different. So you have to try. Whatever you think is right, you have to go with your instinct, and you have to try.
That's true. Now, do you have any funny stories that happened to you over the years, or any pranks you pulled on people?
Oh, maybe the funniest thing is like once we were in the play, and what happened was the last minute, I think the ticket was sold out, so we have to move to a larger stage. Last minute, and we had to reset everything. And during the conversation, when I was on stage with the other persons, long conversation, I forgot my line because the environment was completely different. So I had to improvise it. And the good thing, it was like a fight. Like I was telling the person off. And the funnier thing is, I won an award that year for that play. And I was like, how? But I did. But we used to have award night. The first year I was at Love Creek, and then the director, he passed away. And his partner in crime, he handled it by himself. It's just too hard. But it was good training to be in a small theater.
Now, while on the subject of theater, we're wrapping up. What can you say about, you mentioned you had a stage in your house. What can you say?
Outdoor. It's like an outdoor platform that you can use at the stage. I put over it to protect you, from the sun and this and that. But for now, I put an outdoor dining room table in it, and it's a great place if you want to go there and have a talk show, interact with a few people. That would be great too. Outdoor wines.
Yeah, we can always talk about that. Well,
yes, I can send you a picture of what I did for it in the spring. I put curtains around it, and I'm probably going to do it again.
Now, what influenced you to become a dancer and that's really nice.
I'll send it to you later.
Sure. What influenced you to do all this? Like, was there a big star that influenced you, or did you say one day, I'm going to show people that I can do something?
I think when I was little, one of the maid from Vietnam, she was from the countryside, one of the maids that we had, and she was teaching us how to do the country movement, because I couldn't dance due to my infection. They want a ballerina, my parents. So she taught me something like more nature, and it's, believe it or not, it's more similar to Isadora Duncan style. Surprisingly, because when I moved to Brookline, Massachusetts, I did start taking dance class in high school, and I take dance class at a certain local dance studio nearby, but I didn't discover Isadora Duncan until I'm in my 30s. And that just was it. I feel like, I think I like movement, because it's like a form of expression, and when you move around, it clear up all your energy moves, so you feel happier. That's what some healer would say, that depression is equal when your energy is stuck. Depression equal energy stuck, when energy doesn't move. And that makes sense, because if you're stuck in the mud for a couple hours, would that make you crazy? That makes sense. So the part of it, I feel like moving makes me very happy. Movement. And so I keep on, moving and keep on dancing. I'm certifying Isadora Duncan movement, and I'm certifying Romance floor bar, teaching ballet up on the floor, and I'm certifying dance education. I think I used that for my daytime job before we had the budget cut. And I just feel like that it's just part of me. I love belly dance, I love Isadora Duncan dance, and I love being an actress. I feel like that I found my American dream here. That's what I put on my website. People came here for XYZ reason. I came here to be an artist in the most difficult country in the world. But at least I'm free to do it.
That's true. Now, wrapping up, do you have any other funny stories that you want to share? I give you a perfect example. One of the funny stories, I did it not to be funny. I did it at the time I was being serious. We went to this Italian restaurant, and unfortunately, it happened 2 times. I went to this Italian restaurant, and I was like, yes, can I get the chicken parmesan and the lobster bitch? It's supposed to be lobster brisk. But when I saw it, I was like, yes, can I get the lobster bitch? And he said, excuse me? Yes, it says right here, lobster bitch. It's no, you mean brisk. And the other time was, this is an Italian place near Brooklyn. I can't remember the name, but they probably recognized me if we walked in.
Let's go there sometimes.
I walked in, and it's like, we had a good dinner. I was like, yes, can I get the, it says moose, but I thought it said mouse. M-O-U-S-S-E. It says moose. I thought it said mouse. It's like, why is there an extra S in mouse? So I said, yes, can I get the chocolate mouse cake?
Oh, well, I think one of the stories that might be funny, but it's not too funny. My pronunciation. We were living in Tribeca a long, long time ago. We had the top floor apartment, and one time we had a leak. A real bad leak. We had to call the manager, and I mispronounced his name. It's Bastex. I call it Basta. I think like the guy must be upset or something, but he didn't say anything. Say Basta.
That's really funny.
No, that was me. I wasn't thinking, because the leak is, oh my God, Mr. Basta? He said Bastex.
Well, that's what makes life funny, it's stuff like that it's not predicted, it's just spontaneous. That's what makes it great. But wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners?
Oh, no, well, it's not only to follow your dreams and your path, but also make sure that you don't build karma along the way.